You guys ready?
Copy that.
10-4.
Oh, I am not a crook.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Retro Review. I am the Bearded Geek. Joining me, as always, is Mikey the Freak,
What's up?
Bebo, and Steve.
Hey, guys. Hey, what happened?
I'd say Bebo's either frozen or he didn't say shit.
No, my screen froze. Sorry, guys.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Today, we're going to be reviewing the movie Point Break. Mikey the
It's
Freak.
the 50-year storm coming. The 50-year storm.
The 50.
No.
Mikey the
I'm
Freak, why don't you tell
terrible
us a little bit?
explaining this movie. I'm terrible explaining this movie. But a 1991 movie, Point Break, director is Catherine Bigelow. It's an FBI agent, goes undercover to catch a gang of surfers who may be bank robbers.
Let's keep in mind though that it's only because of Gary Busey. And Dr. Cox the entire time is like, you are out of your mind. You are out of your league.
Yeah.
He's the same guy in every movie. He's the same guy.
Except Mikey,
Everything.
I don't want to step on your toes.
No, you're good.
He's the same in every movie except Wagons East, in which he plays a very flamboyant gay man, and I absolutely love it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't have him for Wagons East.
John Candy's last movie, Wagons East.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
very last movie.
So
Let's go. Keanu Reeves. So Keanu Reeves, Johnny Utah, a hot shot FBI agent coming into the town. I can't remember what town. I'm so sorry. So bad at this.
some
But
California beach town. California beach.
What is it?
Santa
San
Monica?
Dimas.
Jesus
San
Christ.
Dimas.
Yeah,
San Dimas High School
San
football
Dimas.
rules.
That's what I was going.
It's not
That's
San
what I was going
Dimas.
with it.
San Dimas isn't even near the ocean. You have to drive like 30 minutes from San Dimas.
Okay.
San Dimas has a water park.
Okay.
San Dimas has a
I know.
water
I
park, but
get
it
it,
doesn't
I
have
get
the
it.
ocean.
I get it.
Raging Rapids. My God.
Yeah, so Gary Busey has this thing where there's 4 crooks, bank robbers, are actually dressed as, well, masks, I guess, as Ronald Reagan, Lyndon Baines Johnson, Richard Nixon, and Gerald Ford. They have no clue who these people are because they go from a summer months every year. They hit a string of bank robberies, and they completely disappear.
Yeah, because they're following the waves, man. They're
Following the waves. Yeah. So, Gary Busey's character is actually on top of it. He actually has an idea of who these people might be. So and everybody thinks he's nuts. Everybody thinks he's crazy. He tells Johnny Utah about it, and let's run with it. So he goes undercover to try to learn how to surf, and lo and behold, he finds the 4 people. It's one of those fun, weird type movies. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to me. It's kind of hard to explain. You guys do a little bit better job at these kind of movies on the terminology. So we just want to Steve. You do a pretty good job of explaining this movie. So go into a little bit more detail about your idea of the
What'd you
movie.
think of the movie?
But Mikey,
Yeah.
we love yours where it's
I'm
that,
leaving
it
you.
has that guy. It was in that thing that was out last summer. They did that thing, and they had
It's perfect. Yeah, it's perfectly good. I completely understand.
I
long
love how you talk about it so much, but at no point you mention the absolutely just stunningly gorgeous Patrick Swayze.
Oh, I have some
Like-
movies that he's been in.
Like, no, I understand that, but
Oh,
I'm just
yeah,
saying. No, so young Johnny Utah, if that's your actual fucking name, that is like, we're gonna call him Johnny Utah, but we'll come up with a better name in the final draft. and they just never did. It's like Face Off when they said microchip, and it just made it through to the final phase. Johnny Utah, ace shot, FBI extraordinaire, gets sent out to LA County, Orange County, to help get these bank robbers. And in the process, he needs to learn to surf, in which he meets Lori Petty. And with that, we get introduced to 4 people who are like Nazis, and they're like the perfect people, but no, it's not them at all. One of them just happens to be the lead singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Anthony Kiedis.
That was a
The
great
only-
cameo.
I was wondering why I wanted to go ride a roller coaster.
He just looked at the group and said, "Guys, what I got, you got to get it, put it in you." Okay, so
Okay.
what ends up happening
That makes more
is they do a really good job giving it away. All right, so
Give it away now.
Yeah. Okay.
and it's really funny because I'm pretty sure that at one point they do fight under a bridge. So what we're looking at is a group of surfers. I'll keep going.
I know.
I'll keep
I
going all day long.
got all night. Don't
I got
forget
on that.
to-
Tip the field, try the staff. The 6 o'clock show is completely different from the 9. And Johnny Utah just gets in really good with these surfers, and it's almost like a full brotherhood as surfers are. And these guys are just absolute extreme thrill seekers, and they jump out of planes and they ride big waves and they do crazy shit. And
how nuts was that scene where you jump out of an airplane with no chute? My balls are not big enough to jump out of a plane yet. Have anybody jumped out of an airplane yet?
I want to. I want to, but
no. Yeah, no.
I have a fear of heights.
Yeah, I would love to go skydiving, but I would think I would clam up when they're ready.
I don't know if I would clam up, but I definitely shit myself.
I think you. Well, I think that wouldn't happen because I think your sphincter would just
maybe
like dolphin just.
But yeah, amazing last scene. Understanding that he finds this big wave. They track him down in Australia, which is what he's always talked about. Always riding that big
50-year
wave.
storm.
It's the 50-year storm
that comes in, and they knew that he would end up being there, so they track him down. Lo and behold, he's there, and they're like, "Nope,
Keanu, let him go. Yep.
Let him go, ride the wave, but
he ain't coming back."
And they're like, "We'll catch him when he comes on back. He's not coming back now."
All right, guys, moving on. What did you think of the movie? Actually, think of the movie, Mikey the Freak. Enough explaining about the
let's just go straight to ratings. Not what we thought about. Let's just straight to ratings. He's gonna ramble on more. Now listen here, Mister.
I ain't rambling on nothing.
All right, you know what? You're right. You're right. Straight to ratings. That sounds good to me. Straight to ratings. Mikey the Freak. Rate the movie.
I hated this movie. What a great cast of characters. Patrick Swayze, Johnny Depp, Lori Petty, John C. McGinley.
You just say Johnny Depp?
Oh, Lori Petty. What a jackass. And then, John C. McGinley as well. Great cast of characters. I'm giving it a solid 7. One of the better Patrick Swayze movies of the 90s. Not his best one. I have that one down here. But definitely one of his more entertaining, action-packed, thrill-seeking type movies that he has. So I'm a solid 7. Bebo?
I really liked the movie. Great cast for this. I think it was probably the first thing I ever saw Lori Petty in. But great cast. The entire movie from start to finish kind of kept me intrigued. So definitely something I would probably rate up there around a 7 as well. So that's mine. What about you, Steve?
I really enjoyed this movie. It's been a couple years since I've really sat down and watched it all the way through. I'd have to say solid performances all the way around. A really good storyline, really good acting, a lot of fun. So for me, I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
8.
I've never seen the remake. Bearded Geek.
I didn't know there was a remake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was, but
2005
I never heard
or
it actually
2000.
come out, and now it's just like it's been out since.
Yeah,
When was it, Steve?
2015. It was when
Oh,
it came
wow.
out.
2015.
15.
Well, as you guys stated, great cast. I enjoyed this movie all the way through. You kind of get attached to Johnny Utah, and it's Keanu Reeves at his best in the early '90s, or was it
Yeah.
late '90s? In the '90s,
This was early 90s.
91.
yeah,
Yeah, this
early
was
91.
'90s,
91.
early '90s.
He got
Keanu
better in
Reeves,
the late 90s.
yeah, but I mean,
Did he
I,
though?
No.
yeah, I mean, this is his first football movie because he was a quarterback. This is his first time playing quarterback in this movie.
Yeah, the
Before,
replacement was a lot later.
yeah, and
You did you just say this is a quarterback movie? There's a
yeah,
quarterback movie. He plays football for
he's a
like
quarter,
2 minutes, and
he's
He's
a
supposed to be a quarterback, right?
this
I,
is
it's
as
his
much
first time. It's
this
his
is
first
as
time
much
playing
a foot
quarterback.
this is as much a football movie as Galaxy Quest is a time traveling movie.
Okay.
Anybody
Or
else
Top
feel like
Gun,
we're
Fair,
still
Top
at?
Gun is
fair,
a volleyball movie.
fair.
Does anybody else feel like we're at the dinner table and like Dad just hit Mom, but we're all still trying to
Hey,
eat?
that's what we're doing. Hey, the show's went off the rails from the time I hit go, so we're just going with it.
Let's
So
run with it. It's what
yeah,
it
so
is.
yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I put it at a 7.5, but then the point 0.5 for the boob bump because
Yeah.
of the boobs in the house where they raided the house. So I give it a point 0.5. Point
Shower
five
scene.
there. Yep. So it's an eight for me. So Mikey
Yeah.
no, Mike, not Mikey the freak.
Nope. Nope. I don't know. Not me.
Bebo, do you have any fun facts for this movie?
I don't know if they're fun, they're facts, but so as we all know, Johnny Utah, distinct name for a character, but for a while, Point Break, I can't say that to save my life, was actually going to be called Johnny Utah. They were going to actually have that as the name of the movie. Since the title didn't say what the movie was about and didn't reference surfing, they changed the title to Riders on the Storm. Then they thought that would put people in mind of the Doors song of the same name that had nothing to do with the movie, and then they finally landed on Point Break.
Good
Um,
choice.
Yep.
Keanu Reeves, Patrick Swayze, and Lori Petty all went to Hawaii to get surfing lessons for the movie from Dennis Jarvis, a professional surfer. None of them were experts, but they had different levels of an experience. Patrick said he'd been on a board a couple of times. Keanu definitely hadn't surfed before, and Lori had never been in the ocean in her life before the movie.
wow.
Yeah, and then
That
the
sounds
last,
about right.
yeah, and the last one is that Swayze likes to do his own stunts in movies, or excuse me, liked to do his own stunts. Too soon. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Um, On Point Break, he took things to the next level. He actually did his own skydiving during the making or the production. He made 55 jumps.
oh wow.
Uh, and the actor also did his own surfing stunts, which led to him end up cracking 4 of his ribs during the movie.
That may be true, but they still used a stunt double for him surfing at the beginning of the movie because that for sure is
Was
not
not him.
Patrick
No,
Swayze.
Oh,
definitely not. All right, Steve, do you have any?
Hi,
What do you have
soundtrack.
for the soundtrack?
Yeah,
sir?
man. On the soundtrack for this, you had 10 tracks that comes from it. You're gonna definitely know some of it. You get Nobody Rides for Free by Rat. You have I Will Not Fall by a band named Wire Train. Some of these I do not know. 7 and 7 by Liquid Jesus. My City by Shark Island. So Long Cowboy by Westworld. Over the Edge by List of LA Gang Members. I
Okay.
Want You by Concrete Blonde, Smoke on the Water by Loud House, Criminal by Public Image, and Hundreds of Tears by Sheryl Crow, yet nothing from Red Hot Chili Peppers. And that is your soundtrack for Point Break.
I do not have any movie memorabilia for this movie. It's just not one that had a bunch of memorabilia. Mikey the
wow.
Freak, what do you have for some related reels?
Yeah, so I went with main characters Patrick Swayze. We talked about this being one of his better movies of the 90s. I think it's probably in his, of course, top 5 of all times. I do like him in Red Dawn. Dirty Dancing is probably one of my favorite movies with Patrick Swayze. Roadhouse and Ghost.
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Would you say that Ghost would be his top film of the 90s?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say that, yes.
I prefer Dirty Dancing because it's closer
I
to a
do.
musical.
It's kind of sad. Well, I'm not going into
Yeah,
that.
but isn't that also from the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
80, 85, 6, 86.
Did anybody else catch when Johnny Utah said that they went to Patrick's Roadhouse?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did catch that.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice awkward moment.
I didn't watch the movie.
So, yeah, never do. Keanu Reeves, kind of all his better movies. Devil's Advocate, which we've actually done on our podcast before.
I enjoyed that one. Yeah.
Yeah, good
I
movie.
love Devil's Advocate.
Definitely got the boob bump.
On
Yes.
that one, that was a full message one. That was a solid point increase. John Wick series, the Matrix series. And it's funny that you mentioned one of the fun facts was Johnny Utah, because a couple of years later he did Johnny Mnemonic.
Yeah, Johnny Mnemonic.
So kind of weird that they were going to name it Johnny Utah. I was like, oh, just wait, we'll name a Johnny movie after him later on. It's good. And he was in Paul Abdul's Rush video around the same time, 91. Kind of funny.
Hurry, love, come to me. Rush.
And then the last one I wanted to mention, because I know all you guys love them, John C. McGinley from Scrubs.
Love him.
I know
in Scrubs.
love them in Scrubs. One of Bearded Geek's favorite
It really
shows.
is.
The Animal, which I thought was a very hilarious Rob Schneider movie, and Office Space, which is also a great movie.
Yeah.
But that's it. That is my related shows.
All right, guys. As we start to come to a close, Steve, where can people find you on your podcast?
Oh man, you can find me on the last podcast you'd want, which is available on every major podcast outlet. I should have just taken this time to do my Keanu Reeves and do that big monologue from Johnny Mnemonic. I want room service. You know that one? He goes, I've had it with you. I've had it with all of this. I want room service. I want the club sandwich. I want the cold Mexican beer. I want the $10,000 a night hooker. I want my shirts laundered like they do at the Imperial Hotel in Tokyo.
You should do that. Go ahead and start your impersonation.
And then the last podcast you'd want, which is available on all major podcast outlets. Tip the field, try the staff. Thank you all for coming. And if you didn't, better luck next time.
All right, guys. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can find us on most major podcasting platforms now. If you are hearing this on most major podcasting platforms, go check us out on YouTube, because we're there too. That does it for this episode of Back to the Retro Review. So for Steve and Bebo, Mikey the Freak, I am the Bearded Geek saying, keep it retro, everybody.
Peace.
See you.